It's
we
absolutely wonderful song. Absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That was incredible. Thank you so much. I'm moved deeply. It was so
I,
beautiful. I mean, the
yes.
presentation, the whole thing. Oh, wow.
I think I was about 10 when I saw that film.
I
So,
didn't see that. I've never seen that. Is
oh,
that from the movie?
that's South Pacific.
Oh, that's the movie South Pacific. I know. I
Yes,
didn't
yes,
never
yes.
see that. Only
Yeah.
I only saw it on stage. I wouldn't go to the theatre to see movies in those
Ah,
days.
right. Oh, those days, yes. Well, you were in on the stage, weren't you?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
many of us, not many people know that about you, Grace. So I hope I'm
No,
not giving a scoop away here.
that's all right.
That's all right. Okay. I deserve to be happy.
I deserve to be happy. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So it says this meeting is, it's got it. Yes,
Yes, yes.
I've got it. I've got it. All right.
You've got it.
So am I beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Hello, everybody. To see everybody. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, wave your hand. Good. Okay. Good. So let me think where I was. I wanted to talk a little bit about the blurb that I put into the advertisement in the newsletter, because I talked about watching Andre Rieu and the little boy in the concert. Did anybody else see that? If you did see it, wave your hand. Oh, what a pity. It was absolutely incredible. This tiny little boy. There was a huge audience, huge, thousands, humongous audience. And this tiny little boy who was 7 or a bit younger, I'm not sure, around about 7, dressed up like a man in the men's, clothing and what have you, with a violin, and he played with this huge orchestra. He played the violin solo in the thing. It was absolutely amazing. And they stopped various times for various reasons and started again. And you could see that it really was happening. This little boy really was playing the violin. It was absolutely unbelievable. And Andre Rieu was just loving it so much. He kept on just having more and more shots back to the little boy and the violin. It was beautiful. Anyway, that I saw that through the week, and it was quite amazing to see the little boy who was having so much fun. It was um, it was a lead up to my being in touch with a friend of mine who I've known for more than 30 years. And she has always, over these 30 years, she had always contributed into her family. She'd always been there for everybody else. She'd helped the whole family get successful in this, that, and the other thing. And she just worked for all of them at home, cleaning, whatever, but encouraging them. And I've known her, as I say, for over 30 years. And she's just decided that she's putting her talent and abilities, instead of last, she's going to put them forward and do the things she wants to do. She's going to tell the people that she wants to do these things and open up and go off and do them. That's 31 years of her being a good wife and mother, doing all the right things for everybody else and all that sort of stuff. So it was really interesting. And then we talked about various things, which I won't get into now, but we got through to the stage where I convinced her that she deserves to be happy. Because most of us, when I realize it, we weren't taught that we deserved to be happy when we were little kids. We we were taught very much that we should be happy. But I don't know if anybody is different from me, but I don't think many of us were. We weren't taught that we deserved to be happy. We had to be good kids before we could be happy. We had to do what we were told. We had to go to all the right places, do all the right things, and then we could possibly be happy. But we weren't taught that we deserved to be happy. So then I got into my daily word thing again, and one of the things that we learned when we were kids is we had to we had to be given permission to be happy. And now we have learned that, and we were brought up so that we thought that we had to give people permission to be happy and to give the opportunity to be happy to our children. We wanted to be doing that. We wanted to give them the opportunity to be happy, but not tell them that they deserve to be happy. Does that make sense? It probably makes sense to some of you. I can see some noddings going on. And the daily word for today, which we've just heard beautifully read, I'm going to talk about it in more depth, Wendy. Forgive me. I practice acceptance and find peace. In paragraph 1, it says, in the past, I've resisted unwelcome situations and unwanted outcomes. Over time, I've learned that my resistance did little more than leave me agitated and unhappy. We all can probably relate to that, can't we? When we've resisted things, we've been agitated and unhappy, because when I've resisted things and said, no, I won't do it that way or what have you, I have felt so guilty inside and so awful. My little heart's gone pitter-patter, pitter-patter, and I've been a real little wreck, and I've been unhappy. I've walked off unhappy. So I've learned to trade resistance for acceptance. Resistance doesn't, usually means that we have to not like something and resist doing it because we don't like it. Accepting situation as there does not mean that I have to like what's happening, but it does mean I'm willing to be present to it without resistance or struggle. Now, if I might not like a situation, but non-resistance is saying, I'm not going to resist this, but I am going to be without a struggle. I'm not going to struggle. And so often I do things and then I go away and I worry and fuss and fume inside myself about what's going to happen or what other people will think of me. What other people think of me, of course, is the main thing. Since I've been a child, it's like, what are they going to think of me? If I resist something, if I'm not wanting to do it, if I'm struggling to do it and they can see that I'm struggling and not happy to do it, they have a tendency to look at me and see my condition. I am willing, it doesn't mean to say that I'm willing to be present to it without any struggle, without any resistance. When I get into a situation where someone wants me to do something that I don't want to do and I feel very uncomfortable about it and miserable, I can know I'm going to have to do it because of the way the world is going at that particular time, and that I might as well not resist it. If I can just say, okay, this is just a part of my path. And when I look at my path, it's been so varied. There have been lots of little ups and downs and hills and valleys and little things going on. And my path hasn't been just one broad highway, but a lot of the things that have taken me off the broad highway and into these little things, when I'd stopped resisting them or when it had happened, they were really okay. And a lot of the things that I've thought that I resisted, I wanted to resist in my life, it's turned out afterwards where they were exactly the thing that would have been right and best for me to do. So my resistance has often led me away from my happiest and best experiences. What else does it say here? Doesn't mean to say I like what's happening, but it does mean I'm willing to be present to it without resistance or struggle. We have to be present to the situation. I bet you've all been somewhere where you've had to put yourself back and not be in charge, where you've had to do something and you haven't really wanted to, but you've gone ahead and you've done it. And sometimes we've all done it without resistance, and you know that it's so much easier that way, isn't it? I can see a few people nodding that they know that it's easier when we don't resist. From that place of no resistance or struggle, from that place, I am better able to work towards creating better conditions for myself and others. And that's a fact. When we don't do the resistance and struggling to the first thing, we then are in a much better position to be able to improve the situation and bring something nicer in for our friends to do, and our workmates and people around us, our families to do, if we have been non-resistant and non-aggressive. So when I practice acceptance, I invite the presence of God to inspire and comfort me. Okay, so how do we do that? We invite the presence of God. Okay, well, one of the things is, let's think about God again. I know I talked about this last time I talked to you guys, but my God is the creative energy of the universe, or the universes. The whole universe is creative energy. And the creative energy of the universe is literally in every cell of our body. I hold my hand up sometimes when I'm walking down a corridor or something and I want to remember it. Hold my hand up and look at it and say, every cell in that little finger, every cell in there has got the creative energy of the universe in it. We're not just little bits and pieces, by God. We are part of
Now, could you unmute, Grace? Somehow you've got your mute on. So there we are. How's that?
Is that better?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
I'm sorry. How did I do that? I didn't do it. Not guilty. Not guilty.
Well, we'll just accept that, Grace.
Yes. All right. Where did you lose me?
I can't remember.
No.
But anyway, keep going. It's words of wisdom.
Yes. Paragraph 1.
That's
yes.
something how we all do something when we don't want to, and
yeah,
it turns out for the best, doesn't it?
It turns out we create better conditions for ourselves and others. Yeah. And so when I practice acceptance, I invite the presence of God to inspire and comfort me. I shift my attention from what might feel wrong to that which is always right, the absolute unchanging goodness of God, the creative energy of the universes. And as I was saying, I look at my hand or something and say, every cell in that hand is part of the creative energy of the universes, because there may be more universes than we know about. So we're just going to leave that one open. So when I practice acceptance, I invite the presence of creative energy within me. Now, the next thing that I looked at was looking at how do I get into this creative thing. And we go back to the Friday daily word, which says, forgiveness frees my mind and heart. When somebody's words or actions hurt me, it's natural to feel angry. Whoa. I give myself permission to feel the fullness of my painful emotions and allow them to move through me. I take care of myself doing what I need to feel better. Now, how many of us do that? How many of us, when we feel angry about something, let ourselves actually feel the anger? Feel where it is in our body. Feel where it's taking us in our thoughts. And feel the anger and say, yes, it's there. And then we can say that we can let go of the anger. Once we've given ourselves permission to feel the fullness of our painful emotions, we can then allow them to move through us. If I get to feel angry about something and I really allow myself to feel it, I've done this. I promise you, I can swear to this one because I've done it. I have allowed myself to feel the complete anger, and then it dissipates and turns itself into a sort of an energy that forgives whatever's going on, that says that doesn't have to be. That doesn't have to be. And I can do myself better by letting go of it. And I can let go because it's gone. When I give it permission to go, and I don't have to hang on to the anger and grumble around in myself about someone else or some situation or whatever. Now, it's good fun when we're watching television and they've got the news on and all these dreadful things about the politics around the world. That's a great time if you sit around and do that, because there's plenty of anger that can come up there, but we have to let go of it and let it go and be just a feeling and say, I don't know the whole truth of this, and anyway, I am not going to let myself just be angry. I am going to accept that I may not understand everything about this and let it go. I take care of myself, doing whatever I need to make myself feel better. I have to give myself permission to take some time out and not feel angry. I have to give myself permission to feel something different, to feel curiosity. See, quite often when we're angry, we're just not knowing the whole thing. We can allow our curiosity come up. I wonder what that's really all about. And then it goes on and says, at times I may struggle to move past anger and find compassion. Unresolved feelings keep me stuck like a boat that has run aground. I love that image, a boat that's run aground. Have you ever been in a boat that's run aground? And it's just the way unresolved feelings have us. We just are stuck with the unresolved feelings. To release my hold on what has hurt me, I become willing to see the situation differently. So I fill my mind with thoughts of God, remembering the divine love that connects us all. So when I'm feeling like that, stuck boat, I have to go and say, okay, how can I see this differently? I release my hold on this and I become willing to see the situation differently. I fill my mind with thoughts of God, remembering the divine love that connects us all. So that's good fun, remembering the divine love that connects us all, because we can think about, I bet everybody that I'm looking at on this screen has friends around the world, different parts of Australia, different parts of the world. And we have loving thoughts that go out to people all over the place. And we can think of how many people that we have that we're connected with God's divine love. Having been in the unity movement for, quite a few years, I've got people all over the place. And as many of you know, that I was in the United States for 20 years, being a minister, and I was in different cities in different parts of the country and different accents and different vegetation and different climate and all sorts of different things. But within each person, in each congregation, we could connect with each other, because that was the divine connection of God in each one of us. It was wonderful. I can remember walking into, just for a moment, I can remember walking into a church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which I absolutely adored. And I walked in, and the people in the office were all jumped up and came over and hugged me. That's as I walked in to start going to work. The people in the office all jumped up and came over and hugged me. And some of them held me and said, oh, it's so good to see you. Well, that's incredible when you have that sort of welcome. And then I went out, and when we went out and did the service, I'd look out at the congregation, and there were these loving people looking at me, listening to what I was saying and thinking about what it meant for them. And then I could see them getting the message and nodding and saying, oh, yeah. It was wonderful, these different experiences that I've had with having that connectedness with so many people around the world. Anyway, there we are. I'm rabbiting on about that. I can go on and on and on about that, because it just that was amazing. And of course, I've been in Melbourne so many times, and I've been in Western Australia, and I've talked in Adelaide. I've been all sorts of things, Brisbane, Tasmania, Hobart. I've done these things in my time here in Australia. And so I've got all those friends around the world. And now we've all got our online connections with each other. And so we can keep adding on and connecting more thoroughly with more people now than we could when we were 20 years old. It's absolutely amazing the way the connectedness is increasing around the world. Don't you think so? If you think it's a good idea, clap your hands, please. Yeah, we're all for connectedness. All right, good on us. I have a willing and forgiving attitude. Oh, and then mercy frees my heart and mind. Okay, well, mercy. I think that the word mercy and the word merci are very closely related. What does merci mean? Thank you. It's French for thank you. So when I think of mercy, I'm thinking of thanking the situation for opening me up to something new. That's how it works for me. It may not work for you, but try it sometime. When something's upsetting you, say thank you. I'm glad I can see I have another opening. I have to open up in my consciousness and in my experience. Everything that comes to us gives us an opening. We all have an opening for more of the creative energy to be understood, felt, and loved by us. Isn't that nice? The creative energy of the universes wants you to love it. What a concept. No longer stuck. As I let go, I am free to set sail on tranquil waters. But as I say to you, that listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. So if you have anyone that you know is an enemy, you don't have to go and do anything ridiculous, but just allow them to have some peace, have a peaceful place somewhere in your mind, in your heart, in your energy. Allow them to have a bit of peace. The next one I want to talk about is yesterday's. I share my peace wherever I go. Today I commit to staying so centered in the awareness of God in all things that loving kindness will inevitably pour forth from me. I gladly and wholeheartedly dedicate my time, resources, talents, and treasure to those efforts that help create a world where everyone feels accepted. And we each have a responsibility in our own lives to allow ourselves to accept ourselves and accept others no matter what. If we can see that the creative energy of the universe is in us, and see that the creative energy of the universe is in all we have, all our possessions, but all the people we know, the creative energy of the universe is in you, Wendy, is in you, Jeanette, is in you, Catherine, is in you, Eunice, is in you, Regina, is in you, Bill. I can't see any more in that top line, so I'm not talking to them. But the creative energy of the universe is within you. And nothing that happens is not giving you the opportunity to give thanks for the situation that enlarges your experience of the creative energy. So let's take a few moments right now to get in touch with that creative energy that's within us and feel it flowing through us and out from us. Bill? Okay. So I'll keep talking. Let's keep on feeling it flowing within us, around every cell of our body. Just close your eyes for a moment and imagine that energy in every cell of your body. And imagine it flowing through you and lovingly moving through your lungs, through your bloodstream, through your heartbeat, through everything in your body, in everything in your mind. Imagine that love over the creative universe moving through every thought, every part of your brain, every part of your understanding, every part of your mind, as well as every part of your body. Your hands, your feet, your arms, your imagination. If you will, imagine your imagination enlarging so that it can imagine more energy, more creative energy within you, moving and helping you enjoy and value your whole life. And all the energy that you have within you, and all the energy that is around you, and all the energy that's in the people you love. Just for a moment or two, I ask you just to stop and think about a few of the people that you really love, probably family members. Just think about them. And imagine the creative energy of the universes in every cell of their bodies. When we worry about our parents or our children or whatever, we worry about them, we tend to forget that this huge creative energy is in every cell of their bodies and taking care of every part of them. We can send our love, our loving thoughts. It's a great fuel to go over to everyone we love. And that energy that we feel of loving others goes through every cell of our body too. Because the creative energy of the universe is in every thought, every cell, every word, every vibration of us. We are not hopeless, helpless little critters. We are part of a very, very, very large, capable energy. I am one with the creative energy of the universe. Let's affirm that together. I am one with the creative energy of the universe. And again, I am one with the creative energy of the universe. Then the creative energy of the universe flows into me right now. And just sit with that for a couple of moments. Thank you, God. Thank you, creative energy. Thank you, life, for allowing me, inviting me, accepting me, and cherishing me as a part of the creative energy. We are one in the creative energy. We take a nice deep breath. And to that we can say, Amen.